Did you know that making your bed every day can be one of the most productive tasks and can lead you to become motivated enough to change the world? Admiral William McRaven gave a speech in 2014 about how to stay motivated and productive throughout your life to attempt to make a difference in lives and change the world. Admiral William McRaven's speech gives motivation to the audience to try to make a difference in people's lives and have productive days filled with accomplishments every day. When and where? This speech was given on May 17th in 2014 at the University of Texas, and there was 8,000 graduates in attendance, as well as their family, friends, and other professors. Some background. William McRaven graduated from the University of Texas in 1977 and came back to give a commencement speech. He was a former naval officer, and he has lots of experience with hardships, which gives him the motivation to share how he got through them to the audience. And now I'll show you the clip.
Failure and hardships. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. Buttons that may help you on your way to a better world.
Okay, so this speech was significant at the time because the Afghanistan war was going on, and it helped the audience have compassion for the soldiers that were out fighting in the times, and it inspired them to think about all of the difficulties that soldiers face. And it is significant now because people can always use motivation, and it can help them in their daily lives to become more productive. Some rhetorical devices. My quote for amplification is, but the question is, what will the world look like after you change it? Well, I'm confident that it will look much, much better. He emphasizes how the world will look if everybody implements his tips, and how society will change if everybody tries to make a difference in someone's life. Then I have expletive. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed. He describes making his bed every day, but interrupts the sentence by saying mundane at best to describe how it was boring and simple, but it ended up being very beneficial in the end. My analogy is, if you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. And he obviously doesn't mean to go and measure people's hearts, but he describes later in the speech that the weaker ones were most likely the ones to come out on top and to be better at succeeding. Ethos, pathos, and logos. My ethos quote is, I saw it every day in Iraq and Afghanistan. A young army officer makes a decision to go left instead of right in Baghdad, and the 10 soldiers with him are saved from a close-in ambush. He uses this to show us first-hand knowledge, which gives him credibility that he knows what he's talking about because he experienced it firsthand. Pathos, it is not only those soldiers who were saved, but their children were saved, and their children's children's generations were saved by one decision, one person, but changing the world can happen anywhere, and anyone can do it. This shows a real situation, which makes the audience try to become emotional. And he wants to depict a scenario so people start to realize the real life events that happen in people's lives, and how one person, when making a difference, can end up changing multiple lives. My logos quote, I don't have one, but Admiral McRaven was a Navy SEAL for 10 years, and so he has lots of experience in the Special Forces, which does make him very credible to be giving this speech. Why will it endure? Admiral William McRaven gave a speech that was very motivational and inspired many people to make good changes in the world. He has useful tips that if everyone follows, they can try to make a difference in one person's lives. He shares a quote later in the speech that if everybody at the ceremony tries to make a difference in one person's life a day, 800 million lives will be changed. This speech motivated me to try and make a difference and to stay productive. Anyone can change the world, and all you have to do to start is make your bed. Thank you for listening.